Let us welcome Philippe Tassin with MetaHumans. Let's hear about that.
Eric, hit record.
Yep.
All right, good morning.
Good morning.
So I'm going to start with something that we should never, ever do, which is reading my introduction for you, and you would appreciate it. Our education system is not preparing our children for the challenges they will face in the coming decades. In fact, our education system is holding our kids back from being able to thrive in the 21st century. Did you know that only 16% of American high school students are proficient in science and just 27% proficient in math? It is a worrying trend, as STEM fields are expected to be some of the fastest growing and most in-demand industries in the coming years. If our children are not proficient in this subject, they may be at a disadvantage when it comes to pursuing careers in this field. All right, an AI wrote this last night in seconds for free. This is it. We're in the middle of it. Technology is going faster than ever before, and our education system might not be adapted for what's coming. And it's our job to try to make it better. So my name is Philippe Tassin, and I'm an engineer in microelectronics. I code, I'm an entrepreneur, and now I'm an educator. When my oldest son, Ethan, turned 12 and started middle school, he immediately stopped being curious. They put him in the back of the class. He didn't care for going to school anymore. He lost all drive. And so that's when my late wife and I decided to homeschool him. And so, of course, what does he need to learn? How do we bring him and how do we prepare him for the future? So we identified large challenges that they're likely to face in 20 to 30 years. And then we walked backwards. And we're talking about big picture stuff. We're talking about AI, data privacy, sustainability, what it means to be human, biotech, all those things. And so after researching everything, learning environment design and learning technique and technology, we created a business. And so this is MetaHumans. MetaHumans is a in-person education center for kids 7 to 17. I can tell you those members, they learn about coding, they learn about electronics, cybersecurity, gaming, video game design, hydroponics. We teach them about lockpicking, improv, magic, chess, entrepreneurship. They run a real business by learning accounting and making their own products. And here's the secret, it doesn't matter if they learn how to code or not. What matters is that they learn more about themselves, they learn more about others, and they understand the world around them so that they can better influence it in a more integral way. Ultimately, our goal is to help them reach their best personal destiny. That's what we want to do. So after 3 years, we finally opened our first center in Winter Park, 4,200 square feet. It has an immersive cyberpunk theme. It has gamification and social dynamics that make them want to learn, make them want to solve problems and socialize. And the vision is this, it's simple. It's maximizing value and reach. Maximizing value to the kids, the families, the communities, and reach by opening as many locations as possible in a way that is affordable and sustainable. And so our goal is to open, after the first year in operation, we're gonna validate that business, we're gonna formalize all the processes, and our goal is to franchise it and open 100 locations in the next 5 years. That's our vision. We've been open 5 weeks, and I can tell you it's been amazing. And we're well on our way to reach break-even point within the next 3 months.
That's good.
So now Now we need you guys, because it takes a village, you know what they say. We need passionate people, partners, community partners, industry leaders, parents who share the same sense of urgency and try to influence and inspire the kids. Try to make sure that we can build this thing the right way, the first time. So join me on this journey for change. Let's inspire a generation together. And I will leave you with this. From our AI chat friend, I asked him to rewrite the opening statement in a haiku. Education system fails, preparing kids for future, holding them back instead. Skills and knowledge needed to navigate and shape the future, education must change. Thank you.
All right, questions? Ajay Gupta says, such a great idea. Oh, and Chris has a question on Zoom.
Yep, we have 45 students now. We signed up 10 new families in the past 3 days. We just got approved by as a provider for Step Up scholarship as well. So it's really going to open up a lot of homeschoolers. And then the Guardian tracks Scott was mentioning, I think it's Scott. We organized all the activities that we provide into 6 different tracks. This is a way for us to help the kids see what their interests are and be able to specialize if they choose to. So the Guardian track is something where we put the science, the communication, the emotional management, the mentorship, the philosophy, the psychology, all those things.
A couple questions. First of all, who's doing the teaching?
Okay, so we have a team of educators. They're professional and they're not 20. Our director of education is Dr. Sean Carlson. He has a PhD in nuclear physics. He's been writing for Scientific American for many years, Maker magazine, and he earned a MacArthur Fellowship specifically in STEM education. So he created the whole science, the science curriculum, and he's also training our staff for best practices in teaching. And he just happens to be moving now from San Diego. He'll be at the center every day. Other staff members include certified teachers, and we have Josue, who's a mechanical. He's not an engineer on paper, but he's an engineer in every other aspect. Veteran in electronics, with an electronics background. His mind just works in a different way. He creates worlds. We have in the lobby, if you stop by, we have a biota. It's a self-contained ecosystem with fauna and flora with its own water cycle, and the only input is light and temperature. And he came up with all that.
Now, the second question is this just STEM, or are you teaching other subjects also?
No, so it's impossible to put on the facade the fact that we want to make better people out of our kids. So we use STEM as the wrapping paper. It's the excuse.
Third question, what does this cost the family?
It costs right now $44 a week to come 1 day a week, and they choose how many days a week they want to come, and they can spend the whole day with us, and we're open 9 to 7. And as a member, they get free birthday parties, they get discounted summer camp, and discounted tutoring. We're trying to make it very affordable. They can spend the whole week full time, 5 days a week, from 9 to 7 for under $800.
And the next question is really a comment more than when you're ready to franchise, let me know, because I know the best franchiser in the world.
All right. Well,
That's a hell of a statement, but I know.
that's good. Well,
What did you say the 5 days a week was?
it's less than 800. I think it's $740.
It's cheaper than a Montessori school.
Yeah. Now we're not a school. Our goal is for our kids to learn from doing. We don't learn to the test. We don't learn to the tool. We created learning environments, different environments, and then we provide resources, we provide equipment, and we provide real life problems that they have to solve, and then we just guide them.
So you mentioned you do STEM,
Yes.
but you also said gaming.
Yes,
So gaming is STEAM,
correct.
right?
Well,
So-
well, and
I was just
insert
wondering.
label.
Yeah.
You can vote. Yes. So we also we have emotional management. We have financial literacy.
Mhm.
We have entrepreneurship.
Right.
And the esports and gaming is not only there as a carrot,
Mhm.
and it's a great motivator for them,
Mhm.
but also it allows them to organize and learn about working together, communication, anger management,
Sure.
and then follow through.
Okay.
This is badly needed. I'm in it. I want to spend some time with you. I think everything depends upon our curiosity. Curiosity is the beginning.
Mhm.
Creativity. Creativity is the foundation for inventions.
Mhm.
Inventions are the foundation for innovations. Innovations are the foundation for competitive edge. Without sustainable competitive edge, you have no business to be in the business. So I like this one. I want to spend some time with you. Maybe you can connect with Rollins on this,
Mhm.
right? So
Yep.
let's talk about it. I think it's
Sounds good.
fantastic. I'm
Yeah,
glad you are
we'll
doing
talk offline too.
All right.
What age ranges are you
7
doing
to
right?
17. And so we want to have as much cross-age education and workshops as possible. And so what we did is we're making sure that the older members have social purpose and mentoring opportunities, but also they have their own space in the back where they can socialize and hang out. So we're trying to balance those things.
You mentioned that the students can go 5 days a week.
Yes.
So that would, I'm assuming that's considered full-time, right? That would be
Yeah.
considered full-time?
Yes.
So at the end of a period of time, 1, 2, 3 years, whatever, what did they leave with and how are they prepared to go into college or university?
So this is really about homeschool support. So the kids, they're already homeschooled, they have their curriculum, they have their parents to help, they have their co-ops or whatever, and we're here for them. They can come with their laptops or whatever they're working with, they can do their homework, we're here to help, and then once they're done, they can jump on a workshop, they can jump on a project, and they can socialize with other friends.
Do you have any, is there a business model to roll it out into any underserved areas, underserved neighborhoods?
Yeah, so we considered having a nonprofit model first, and that was difficult for funding. So it is a for-profit, but everything is very much. I think the future is going to have to be a hybrid model with a for-profit and non-for-profit branch. So we're looking at creating a foundation or a nonprofit just for scholarships. And also we made our model from scratch as a franchise in a way that every single center could be not only a successful business, but could also be run as a nonprofit.
And is there any crossover from just a virtual platform or a digital platform and is there
So we have a lot of some of our curriculum is online for our members, but look, you can find everything online right now.
Yeah.
Except socialization, communication, like face-to-face and culture. So this is what we're here for. It's for face-to-face. We're not interested in online. Online people do it better than us. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know. I looked at both of you and I went like this, so fight.
I love the idea of the socialization. The question I have is, what about competition? Like mathnasium, different things.
Yeah.
Who are your competitors? How do you compare price-wise?
That's
And
easy.
what, Because
This
they're-
right here is the competitor.
Well,
It's
but I mean-
attention.
Well, no, I'm talking about business models. So,
Yeah, so they say yes, you have a competitor. If you think you don't have one, then you're wrong. I think I must be wrong. Mathnasium is specifically tutoring in math. It's about performance in school. It's too narrow for us.
But there's still a competitor.
Obviously, the movie theater is a competitor too, right?
Yes,
So
and the phone.
So
like, would community centers be your competitor? That offer after-school programs.
Yes.
And
yes,
so-
yes.
And I'm just curious because when you go out to franchise
Right,
in all these different locations, you're going to have to know who the competitors are
right.
in the locations to see if your pricing model works and
Yes.
things like that. So.
Yep. No, I mean we have top of the line equipment. We have our own theme. This month we have a theme called Magic, Mind, and Science. And by learning about magic, we learn about our limited perception of reality and how science makes sure we don't fool ourselves. You don't find that in a library. We're gonna have summer camps on fashion week and cosplay and entrepreneurship. It's not our goal to teach them about block coding because they can do that for free online at home. So yeah, our goal is not to exist, right? If that solution and those services were already everywhere for everybody to use, I would be in a cabin by a lake in a forest right now and not dealing with any of this.
The reason I asked that is because that shows your uniqueness, and in your when you talk about not having any real, you have competitors, but they're so segmented.
Yes.
And that just shows the more and more benefits that you have as part of your story.
And we worked a lot on the theming. This looks like an abandoned warehouse district in cyberpunk Japan, and you come in and it's not a classroom, it's not a library. It's the kids took over the warehouses and they decided to create businesses. So there's that, and then we have layers of gamification for everything they do. The kids get rewarded for effort, and then so they get XP, and then if they actually follow through and learn about and show that they really understand the material, they unlock badges that then in turn unlock credits for them to spend on snacks, on peer tutoring, on extra guests for birthdays, etc. So they have an incentive that's intrinsic and also social incentive to make sure that they follow through with the learning.
I think you are focusing on collaboration rather than competition.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Innovating every second.
Mm-hmm. Yes. We want our competitors to come to us and help inspire the kids. It's team effort. It has to be.
There are 8 billion people, 8 billion minds, and so
Right.
innovation is the key for future.
Mm-hmm.
Anything and everything.
Yes, I think there are a lot of opportunities to partner with science centers, with schools, with all other for-profit, other not-for-profits.
Be able to pass any certificate. What's your funding model?
Funding model was all self-funded. We decided to go with just get it done and not spending years trying to find money.
You mentioned that in 5 weeks. Break even, so you're not cash flowing right now, or how's
No,
it?
well, because we just started a month ago.
To get away from doing self-funding, what are you thinking? Are you thinking grants? What were you thinking?
No, we looked into it. It was difficult because we're for profit. It would be an uphill battle. There's really a missing link. A lot of grants are there to help STEM education, but they only go to nonprofits. And there's a gap here in the market because there are a lot of good for profits that are in this.
And do you know for your target market, you're finished self-funding, you're gonna rely on your model, so fee-based, subscription-based, or whatever. Did you know who your target market you were thinking?
Right now, we picked Winter Park to have enough support, but also, you need money to give money, right? So we're looking at the target market is probably looking like a certain amount of kids within a certain distance from the center. We're looking at probably 10,000 kids within 3 miles, right?
You're
Oh.
thinking like middle class?
Oh yeah. No, I mean we want to make it as affordable. If we could be free, we would. Right. This is what we want.
And so you have a competitive edge over your direct and indirect competitors. Are you thinking to offer or basically meet any certifications like for example,
Yeah, so they do. So we're adding certifications slowly. So right now we have we're working on one for Agile certification, project management, and then we have a path to penetration testing certification in cybersecurity through Hack the Box. So slowly we'll have more certifications for our kids.
When you go over your understand it. When you go over, first of all, the models that you're using, the education models, are you, because I feel like for some of it seems that you're creating them, which is actually extremely excellent. But are you like borrowing from, for example, you know, in different countries they might have different education systems, or they might be even different research professors in education that have their own system. Are you borrowing, or are you making it all?
We don't reinvent the wheel. We try to reuse, improve, synthesize as much as possible. And we're using also Dr. Sean Carlson's experience. He earned his MacArthur Fellowship because of his work into solving the drop in STEM interest in middle school and high school. And so all the engagement that he put together and all the framework that he put together is what we're trying to implement, as well as the gamification layer, as well as the learning environment design layer, and then all the different, the inspiration and all the different workshops that we want to introduce to the kids. And look, this is a work in progress, and as people come in and help us, things get.
Do you have key targets for the end of do you have key targets for the end of the year where you're hoping to hit financially, or where you're hoping to hit?
By the end of the year, yes. By the end of the year, I think we'll be in good position to start looking for location number 2. That would also probably be self-funded, worst case, but we'd like to. Eventually, we're gonna have to find something that is a little faster.
You have a target for how many clients or how many students?
How many members? I think our maximum in this location is probably around 300 members. 300 to 500 is max, but I think it would be way too many people. I think if we had 150 members, we would be just fine.
And not to bother, but what's your ratio to instructor or like adult to?
It depends. Right now, it's we have days, because they don't all show up at the same time. We have days with 3 adults to 1 kid, but we want to keep it to about 1 adult to 7 kids or so.
I've got a couple comments online. AJ Gupta says, I would love to support you in any way I can. I work with a lot of young people and their mindsets, teaching them to create an unstoppable mindset from a place of unconditional love and service. Thank you, AJ. I hope you guys connect. Also, Alan Schaefer says, having had a Montessori preschool for 20 years, recently having to close it due to COVID, perhaps our experience might be helpful to you. Contact me directly, and he gives his Gmail. So I'll make sure you get that.
Thank you.
We'll give you the chat, and you can contact
That
us.
sounds good. Now we'd like to say, because we're not a school, there's a lot of red tape that we don't have to deal with.
Nice.
Which is extra benefits. I'm sorry.
Okay, so I'd like to ask about your go-to-market strategy.
Yes.
So you actually today you're talking with neighbors, referrals, internet, Facebook ads.
Yeah, so we
ads,
social media, which I hate to do, frankly, but we got to do it. Social media, advertising, events. We went to Maker Faire, and so we got 200 leads from that. We're doing homeschool co-ops, conferences, conventions, but really we invested so much in the theming and the design and the models that word of mouth is our driving factor. And we did that on purpose, and it's working. It's you can actually see people just coming in every day, visiting every day. I grabbed them from the street, and some of them, they sign up right there and then. Once they get in the door, we get over 90% closing rate. And they tell their friends, and they bring people.
So what types of instructors and others, we can imagine what kind of subjects that you want to present, but you mentioned earlier about certifications and things like that, but then you also said that since you're a for-profit and you're not a school, then you don't have those limitations. So
right.
What are you looking for as far as instructors are concerned?
You know, I mean, this is my personal preference. I wanted a place that was safe for kids who think outside the box or different, whether they're on the spectrum or they're visual thinkers or high IQ or emotionally different, whatever. And making them understand that they're a tremendous value for society and they have a place, even though today the emphasis is on extroverted specialists. You can still be a generalist who's a system thinker, and you still, in fact, we need them. And the key is to find ways to create those collaborative groups that think differently, that are different, because that's when you get maximum value out of society. So
I'd be the perfect student, I think.
I suspect a lot of us here would be perfect students. Yeah.
Or you when we were kids.
And so of course we want teachers that are aligned with this, right? In fact, we were discussing this with Dr. Sean. Our best educators are probably theater majors who know how to get the attention and the emotional connection and the passion across, because it's more important than the content.
Right.
You were just saying content is not so important, but question content-wise. So with the improvisation piece, I know you're focused a lot on science and AI and technology. How do you fit that in as relevant to STEM, or are you just looking at it as something extra like enrichment?
Oh, so we made big changes this month. We're adding improv every day, at least 1 hour a day. And for summer camps, it will be several times a day. Improv is such a wonderful tool. It allows kids to express themselves in a safe manner. They create bonds instantly. They have to be creative. They have to think on their feet and solve problems in a collaborative way. It just changes the whole game. And they get their energy out too. So it's just perfect. You get that, then they get inspired. And what happened yesterday? We had after the hour improv, we had a scheduled workshop at 4 p.m. And they were so excited about building something else that we forgot the workshop. Forget it. Let's take that energy and let's go to the factory where they learn about entrepreneurship, and we have 3D printers and lasers and cameras and vinyl cutter and heat presses, and then they just spent 2 hours there focused, and that's all they did. So that it's just a matter of setting them up and then just guiding them so that learning happens.
Subirthi Prasad says the Orange County Library has similar programs. What is the difference with MetaHumans?
Yes, I looked into this as well. You know, I think one of the differences is that we offer hands-on support for their homework and the homeschoolers. When the homeschoolers come, they get to actually work. So it's not about learning how to use the 3D printing, or it's not about the tool. It's not about the software. It really is about creating a context of problem solving and discovery and learning. So I think maybe the culture, the fact that we get to see the same kids over and over again in a more controlled space, and the fact that it's our community as well that makes a difference, probably.
So that is gonna be what is gonna set you apart. Because the library, to me, is your biggest competitor.
Correct.
Because there are communities there are homeschool people that build communities at libraries. And for $800 a month, you're building a community, you have to extremely distinguish what you do differently than a library. Because otherwise, why would someone spend $50 a week or $170 a week off your price list when they can go to the library for free and get something kind of similar?
Right.
Not even competitive,
Right.
but kind of similar. So
right.
you have to really differentiate yourself there in order to really make this completely stand out. Because homeschoolers, some of them are made of money and some of them aren't.
Right.
And many of them aren't. And so you got to make sure that you're.
Right. So now the step up scholarship is really going to help with that. And then they don't have to come 5 days a week. We have only a handful of kids who are here 5 days a week.
Whatever it is, the
then
library
cost
is free,
lower.
always.
Right.
You know, maybe a small fee for
Now,
new programs.
I tell you that, we have people driving an hour to come to us.
No, I don't doubt
And
that.
because they don't have the library there.
I don't doubt that.
Right.
But if you're going to franchise this into 1,000 cities,
Right.
then you're going to have to make sure that you have such a clear story around what makes you different and
Right.
how you provide so much more than what a library does.
Right.
That's going to make your business grow. Because it's whether it be a library, mathnasium, whatever the competitor is
Right.
in the local area.
Right.
We're running out of time, and I know we got a lot of questions. Are you going to be available after this?
I'll be here. Brochures, if you want to take one, and then I'll just hang out.
Okay. So the final question then for you is, what can we as a community do?
Connect. Tell me what your vision of education is. What does it look like, and how we can move it all forward. And then just discuss. I think that's really important. The vision. We want to create a franchise from the ground up. Help us get there.
Okay.
When can we come visit?
Anytime you want.
That's
Between
what
9 and 7.
Hopefully you're going to offer classes on entrepreneurship too. I'm sure we got one or two people here.
Yeah, we have about 25% of our center that's dedicated specifically for business and entrepreneurship.
Excellent.
Terrific.
Yeah.
But you gotta earn a token first before you get.
All right, thank you very much. Yeah, I can tell a lot of people are excited about this, so it's a good thing that Jordan didn't show up.
Can I say my 28-year-old?
Yeah, we homeschooled our kids, and I wish. Now they're too old. I wish they were young enough that they could have gone to something like this. Let's see. Let's not do that yet. So yeah, kind of open phones. We're gonna, like I said, this is a community where we support each other. So occasionally we will talk about what are the big problems that any of us are facing, things that we need help with. This is your chance to ask a room full of people, a room full of experts who can help you with anything that you might be working on. So if anybody's got any question, problem, issue, now is the time to ask people. This is a supportive and safe space, so don't be embarrassed. Yes, Vanessa.
If anyone knows any coders, I'm really trying to get an idea off the ground. I was trying to make a mock-up, but my coding isn't very good. Otherwise, I have to go to Upwork and just hire people. So if anyone knows any coders who can help me.
No code.
No code?
No code.
K-N-O-W or N-O?
Yeah, but that only takes you so far.
Yeah, but to get an idea of the ground.
Yeah.
How do you spell it?
Funkable.com is a no-code app creator. You can set up an account for free and get it start working, and then
Funkable?
Thunkable, T-H-U-N-K.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch
Oh,
of
Thunk.
There's a lot of competitors.
Yeah.
So
Bubble.
if you don't want to, if you want to learn to code, that's not the option. If you want to do something real custom, that's not the option. But if you want to just get something up and running
Yeah.
for a mobile app that'll work on iOS and Android, that's
Funkable.
something like that is a good option.
And you
Because,
said bubble? Like a bubble?
Yeah. Bubble.io, I think, is the site.
but if you want to help coding, then these guys are your answer, because there's a lot of guys in here that will be able to help you.
I
Yeah.
just need to make a mock-up so someone thinks it looks sexy and they want to.
And then Mary is actually a coder, a doctor of mathematics. So
I'll come look for you.
I'm always impressed by that, doctor of mathematics. Like, I suck at math, so anybody who got a PhD in that is like wicked smart.
Somebody was looking for blockchain
Which one do you
something.
want to, which one do you want to show?
They had,
The web one first then.
That's
Right now,
harder to do a mock-up than
Well, I'll do the mobile one, cause I know how to do like. a
Thunkable, you
animation.
could do some real basic screenshots and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And where buttons go from one screen to another and it's just all no code, so you
yeah, I
could do
just
something
wanted
like
like,
that.
even when I do the, when I show it to people, cause otherwise they have nothing in their hand, they don't know what I'm talking about.
There's also another company called Anima that does
Anima or enema?
Anima. Completely different, it's a whole different process.
For when coding is a pain in the ass.
Very good.
Actually, what's
Anima?
Anima, yeah, I'll connect with you, but it's a way just to get a mock-up together and it's pretty quick and yeah.
I did know an IT consultant company that their tagline was, "We take the SH out of IT."
You can go to envato.com.
Inveto?
Yeah, it gives you themes to buy or purchase. Like under $50 you can purchase a theme and then fit all the contents there and then load it out.
Okay, good, cause this is really important, cause then people can't visualize the idea, and it's like, they're just like, what am I gonna do?
Yeah, just don't, this is what I say. When you start up, don't spend on technology. I'm a technology guy, I'm a coder, I build applications, I have a team. But do not spend on technology initially until you validate your idea,
Absolutely.
right?
You guys are all high-tech, nobody's buying your technology.
Right.
They're buying your
Check
story.
it out.
Or they're buying the solution that you're
Technology is
offering.
just a tool
They don't buy
Go to
solutions,
their
they buy
heart.
problems.
to emotions. Okay? That's what it is.
They pay for value.
Check all the successful companies like Airbnb and PayPal and everything. See how they got started. Check it out. That's how you learn.
Who's buying lunch?
All in your brain. That's what you make a decision. You are using technology to get productivity, efficiency and everything. That's fine. That will take you only so far. But it's still your brain makes the decision. But the decision, what doesn't matter, whatever business you're in. There's a buyer and a seller. Seller is trying to sell his stuff to make money so that he can feed his family. Buyer is looking for something to solve his damn problem, complex problem, for which he is willing to pay for it. So you have to figure that out, that's it. And the business is very simple. Managing risk profitably, that's it. You have to know the damn risk all the time. So we are talking about technology, I think it is a tool, it's good, you want to have it, but don't get carried away. That's all I'm going.
Who still has their New Year's resolution?
I just never made them.
There you go.
Sabithri Prasad wants to know, I'm searching for a blockchain developer, full stack developer, marketing community manager, if anyone might be able to recommend. So if anybody can recommend, Mary, are these people that you know?
3 separate positions?
3 separate positions.
Oh.
Caesar comes to mind right away for blockchain.
Yeah, Caesar.
gone. Yeah,
Caesar is up in Buffalo, probably still buried under the snow. He picked a great time to go, didn't he? Yeah, anybody who doesn't know, Caesar Medell used to run NeoWare, which was a co-working space, and then morphed into sort of a blockchain development company. He was here in Orlando. He's a strong member of 1 Million Cups, and he and Corey, his business partner, moved up to Buffalo in November. And then it snowed really hard.
Are they experiencing a crypto winter?
Yeah, they are now a crypto company too, and I wonder how that's going. So
This group's got jokes.
yeah,
It's got jokes.
we're pretty on it.
Any jokes.
We're
Always
creative.
working. We're always on. Anyone else? Dan.
Yeah, I wanted to briefly say that following this meeting is the beginning of the Business Ethics Program for 2023, hosted by the Incubator. I'll be teaching a class every month on the first Wednesday, and it starts today. We're covering writing your ethics mission for your company. something you may not have thought of before. But ethics is often talked about. Yes, I want to be ethical, I want to be moral, but how do you go about doing it? So we're going to be very practical about that today, talking a little bit about the ancient Stoics and how they taught ethics, and how 2,000 years later we can apply some of those ideas. And it's free, and lunch is included.
Ooh,
wow.
Free and lunch.
And where? Right here, in this
Right in this room.
So, VJ and I, we're getting frustrated. I've been frustrated for decades with regards to Orlando's entrepreneurship community, because there's just so much outrageous opportunity and talent and everything else, but the ecosystem itself just hasn't reached its potential anywhere close to what we believe that it should be. So we finally got to a breaking point. We said, okay, let's do something. So we started an organization called Orlandopreneur, and we came up with the idea on December 1st. On December 5th, we said, so how are we going to let people know about it? Oh, let's have an event. So on December 5th, we organized an event 2 weeks hence at Gatlin Hall Brewing. By the time of the event, and all we did is just he and I posted on LinkedIn and Facebook. By the time of the event, we had 306 RSVPs. We had 207 people show up.
That's really good.
We had the Carol Ann Dykes from the UCF Business the director of the UCF Business Incubator was there. We had Ken Hall and Dennis Poppy, two of the top venture capitalist people in town. We had a number of a lot of other entrepreneurs and business service providers and so forth. Dennis gave his presentation on the tech ecosystem here in Orlando, and then I gave I do an annual State of Entrepreneurship in Orlando. So
that was very good.
And I gave that, thank you. And I'm hoping to do that here sometime soon. I already applied. I don't know what's going on with this process, but in any case, yeah, it's a process. But in any case, we've got another event. Our goal is to have a feeder event, like it's a networking type of a thing, but we don't want it to be networking like everybody else is networking, because then you just go somewhere else, right? We're trying to change what's going on in Orlando. So the way we want to do that is we're going to have a feeder event, like happy hour events once a month, and we're going to, I don't want to limit it, because, if we get 500 people, then we get 500 people, but we are going to be starting to charge memberships and other things, because we're going to be providing a lot of value. We want to do all kinds of things. We want to provide people access to various other programs that are in town and so forth, educational programs, and then we've got another program that we're going to do that's going to be, I hesitate to call it a mastermind, or a hive, but it's basically we want to get together the people who are really interested in moving the community forward, and we're going to sit down and we'll get maybe 50 to 100 people together in an office setting, and we'll present ideas or problems, and then we'll break out in the breakout rooms or whatever, and then we'll come back later and say what are the solutions to the problem, and then put people in charge, and let's see if we can get some things done. Okay, so that's what we're looking at right now. So it's called Orlandopreneur. Right now we have a meetup page that if you just look up Orlandopreneur on Meetup, you'll get it. We have 276 members in there. Facebook, we have a Facebook page.
We have a Facebook page, we have a LinkedIn page, we have an Instagram as well.
Okay, so you're all welcome to follow us and be part of it and so forth.
I moved out from Utah a year and a half ago, and they have an organization called Silicon Slopes.
Mm-hmm.
And their summit they put on every year has over 20,000 people show up.
Wow.
And what they did is they created a nonprofit. They got a bunch of the unicorn companies together, and the heads of it created a nonprofit. And I know that you're not necessarily looking at a nonprofit.
We're for-profit.
Yeah, but what they did is they created something so strong, because they had the support of the companies to fund it, that they would have a product marketing meetup group that had 200 people show up once a month. They would have this group and that group and all these other groups that were supported off them. And I would love to see you guys kind of take that role and have the general membership be free, but get sponsors to run your organization so you don't have to charge for the entry fee, but to have something outside the tech council, have something outside the Florida Entrepreneur Venture Group and all these things that runs it, that kind of supports Orlando, because the Utah, I mean, their summit, they had, you know, Tim Cook from Apple come out, Alex Rodriguez, the biggest names that you can get, they get there because the companies flip the money for it. So I don't know if that's what you, I don't know if that's what you guys are looking to do.
Well, I prefer a hybrid, because in the 90s I ran a group called the Central Florida Council for High Technology, and we charged $35 a year, and we had 6,000 members. And we were doing field trips, and we were doing lectures and you know, education programs, all kinds of things. And today that model is not an annual thing; it's more like a monthly subscription, right? And so, but we want to do both. We want to do a subscription and an annual, and then sponsors. Okay, our first event was profitable. And and that took us what an hour to find. I made 6 phone calls. We got 6 sponsors. So, but we want to stay for profit because, and some of you all know I work with a lot of nonprofits, and it's like that's not a viable business model.
Well, whether it's for profit or nonprofit, I was just looking at all the different things. So.
Right.
We are running out of time, or we are out of time. Real quick though, Emily Young online said, Philippe forgot to mention the first Saturday of each month, this coming Saturday, we have open workshops for members and non-members. There will be a workshop this Saturday, and she uploaded a URL to the workshop. Where is the workshop?
At MetaHumans in the Aluma Shopping Center by Aluma Cinema Grill. The workshop is about creating, designing, and engraving acrylic displays that are on an LED base.
Okay, cool, excellent.
Also, there's the ASI Expo in town.
ASI
is the promotional products.
Oh, that's good.
And you can get in for $10 for the exhibitor booths, and those are tomorrow and Friday. And I went in, I signed up. You can literally get ideas for your business from all kinds of different promotional products, anything from glass etching to watches to how you present things and everything. I'm going down there just because I love the stimulation of ideas. But if you want, I'll send you, or I'll show you the link, but it's just down at the convention center. I'm going from 10 to 5 tomorrow. So.
And you get all the cool swag, and your Christmas shopping is done for this year.
I mean, and everything you can imagine is there.
Yeah.
So.
I went a few years ago, and it was like walking in the sky.
I went to Vegas where they had 5,000 exhibitors about 8 years ago, and it was just, yeah.
All right, so next week we're going to hear from Dr. Tracy Boyd of Aligned Growth Solutions. I followed her on LinkedIn yesterday, that's how I know that. And Jennifer Fry of Appreciated Asset. If you are online, you can download the chat. If you want a copy of the chat, email me, eric.deckers, ERIK.deckers@gmail. I will send you a copy. Make sure you join us on meetup.com if you haven't already, and connect with somebody that you met here today, or a meetup for coffee or lunch, or have a Zoom call or a phone call, something. Get to know each other. Let's make 2023 the year that we strengthen our entrepreneurial community and really help each other grow and succeed. So otherwise, thank you very much, and I will see you in 167 hours.